What is good, YouTube, man? Today I'm back with you guys with the nation for another video. And today, man, I got us a different style video because we're getting to that point where it's kind of getting closer and closer to mock draft season. So I'm going to start the draft talk. But you already know, before I get into today's video, I have to give a big shout out to my guy, IC Nate, always coming in clutch with these thumbnails. So please, if you can, go check his YouTube page out at IC_Nate on YouTube. Go show him some love. But let's get straight into today's video. And now, as you can see by today, the title and the thumbnail of the video, I'm going to give you guys some options. Who should the Raiders take at pick 22? Or should we even pick at 22? Do you guys want to trade up? There's some very good talent that you could trade up for. Do you want to trade back? There's a lot of value in trading back. Now, without further ado, let's get straight into it. So, there's 5 guys that I want to talk about first that the Raiders should really consider at taking should consider taking at 22 if they're. Number 1, linebacker out of Utah. Devin Lloyd, I do not believe will be there at pick 22, but in my opinion, he is one of the most complete linebackers in this draft. You do not pass up his talent. Over there with Utah, there's not many crazy guys in front of him, like Nakobe Dean. Nakobe Dean has 2 top 50 guys in front of him, creating space, eating up double teams. Nakobe Dean is a great player. He's a fantastic player. He's flying all around the field, but he's roaming free. He's roaming free. Nobody's taking him on. He can go and he can diagnose plays himself, and he won't have to worry because you got Devontae Wyatt and you got top 20 pick Jordan Davis in front of you. So that's probably my number 1 guy. Now, he is ranked as a top 20 guy. I know we pick we pick after the top 20. So if he is there, you go out and you grab him 110%. Now, the Raiders. What is one of the Raiders' biggest needs this offseason? Well, there's honestly about 3. But the very glaring need that we showed that we lacked was somebody that can make that big play. Someone that can make that explosive play. Someone that can consistently move those chains. Well, guess what? You got a lot of freaking guys in the first round that I believe can do that for the Las Vegas Raiders. And if you want to go wide receiver first round, well, there's 3 guys. There's Drake London. There's my favorite prospect in the draft out of South Carolina, Treylon Burks. You have another wide receiver that probably will go later, but the main guy, in my opinion, that everybody's wanting is there's 2 Ohio State guys, Garrett Wilson and Chris Olave. Right now, going off of Garrett Wilson, he will not be there by the Raiders pick, but maybe you can trade up for him. If there's some guys in here that believe that the Raiders should trade up for Garrett Wilson, go ahead, be my guest, but you will have to give up a lot of picks to get into that top 10. Another Ohio State guy, Chris Olave, very good. He's your X receiver. He is your X receiver. Same goes for Drake London. But like I said, pick 22, when you got guys like Garrett Wilson, when you got guys like Chris Olave, when you got guys like Drake London in front of you, Treylon Burks. Now, some of you guys may love him. There is some guys that aren't too high on him. Now, here's my thing with Treylon Burks. There is actually that possibility that he could fall to our pick, and let me tell you why. He is not the most complete wide receiver in this draft class. He's not. And many of you guys may be looking at me like, whoa, hold your horses. You're kind of crazy. Look at his statistics. Look at his numbers. I understand. But the reason why guys like Garrett Wilson, Chris Olave, and Drake London will go in front of him, they're more complete wide receivers. Garrett Wilson's a better route runner, may have more speed. Same goes with Chris Olave. Same goes with Drake London. But what I feel Treylon Burks has above all those guys is the consistent big play. The consistent playmaker he's a playmaker. That's honestly what Treylon Burks is. He may not have the crispiest of routes like Garrett Wilson, Chris Olave, and Drake London, but Treylon Burks is a playmaker. He may not have that change of direction that those other 3 guys have, but he is a true playmaker. What do the Raiders need? We need a playmaker. We have a route runner in Hunter Renfrow. We have a route runner slash a playmaker in Josh Jacobs. I mean, in Darren Waller. And then you have your playmaker and tough runner in Josh Jacobs. So you need a person that you can just put the ball in their hand on a screen play. Give him a 4-yard pass. Give him a 2-yard screen. Give him a hitch route where he can get the ball and run after the catch. That's what the Raiders need, right? Like I said, you got your slot receiver, you got your sneaky guy, but you need a playmaker. And Treylon Burks is a playmaker. I feel like a lot of other teams in this class right now may be looking for someone who can truly produce as a receiver, when Treylon Burks can not only produce as a receiver, he can produce at other positions. He can produce when you put him in a jet sweep. You can put him in the backfield. We saw a couple times Hunter Renfrow get put in the backfield this last season. We couldn't do much with him because that's not Hunter Renfrow's position. But if you put Treylon Burks in the backfield, the defense has to respect that. When you put Hunter Renfrow in the backfield, not necessarily so much, because we're not going to hand the ball off to him. But you're also not going to have that versatility with Garrett Wilson, Chris Olave, and Drake London. You will get that with Treylon Burks. So in my opinion, if he's there, you grab him. Some may hate me, some may not. It all depends, though. It all depends. Now, another position that I feel like the Raiders should really, really be on the lookout. We talked about linebackers just a little bit. We talked about receiver. And now I want to talk about defensive tackle. Defensive tackle, there's a couple of them, okay? DeMarvin Leal, I believe he will go before us. Jordan Davis, I believe the Chargers will really, really need a defensive tackle to fill in for the void that Linval Joseph will leave. Most likely he'll retire. Now, Jordan Davis most likely will go to LA with the Chargers. The next man up, Perrion Winfrey, has a hell of a Senior Bowl. Puts a lot of great film up, absolutely dominant when it comes to pass rushing. Now, some of you guys may think, okay, the Las Vegas Raiders can go Perrion Winfrey at 22. Is that a reach? Maybe. I wouldn't say it's a reach if that's your guy. If you build in the offseason and you need that true guy to be next to that nose guard, let's say you go out and you get a Brandon Williams in free agency, so you need that 3-tech next to him. You need that 3-tech that can be sandwiched in between an outside linebacker and the nose guard. Then you go out and get Perrion Winfrey in the draft at pick 22, because he will be there. Once you slide after 22, there's going to be teams that will love his services. The Kansas City Chiefs, Jarran Reed, they brought in Jarran Reed in the middle of the season. They can absolutely utilize the hell out of a guy like Perrion Winfrey. You pair Perrion Winfrey up with Chris Jones in the middle of the field, or in the middle of that defensive line, you'd be absolutely spooked. But what I tell you, if you bring Perrion Winfrey onto this team, I understand he may not be the best run stopper. There's some hell of a good run stoppers in this draft. You got Travis Jones. You got guys like damn, I'm really blanking out on him. He's from Arkansas, John Ridgeway, very, very good guy to stop the run. So I really like Perrion Winfrey. Some people may say that he's a guy that can rush the passer very well and is absolutely trash against the run. Well, you sandwich him in between two guys that can stop the run, and he will produce. He will produce. So far, the three guys that I really, really want the Raiders to look out: Treylon Burks, Perrion Winfrey, who did I say? Devin Lloyd from Utah. And the next guy is, I highly doubt that he'll be there, but the next guy on this list is Tyler Linderbaum. I know many people may be saying, well, how and why will the Raiders go out and get a center after they just extend Andre James this offseason? Well, in my opinion, Andre James, he did get a lot better, but he also left a lot to be desired. In my opinion, his playmaking ability at the center position, he's not the best in going up into the second level, getting his nose on a linebacker. In my opinion, he does not have that. He's a good pass blocker. He learned under the best pass blocking center in the league. But if you go out and you get Tyler Linderbaum, and for whatever reason he falls, you have to grab Tyler Linderbaum. This guy, in my opinion, you look on his film, you throw up his film, all pro written all over. In my opinion, he reminds me of Jason Kelce. The man can move in space, and we know that in this system, when we run those screens, we need a guy that can move in space. So Tyler Linderbaum, in my opinion, is an absolute no-brainer if he's there. I know it's not the flashy pick. I know we went offensive line last year in the first round. But you have to look at that position, in my opinion, because if he's there, you get him. I absolutely do not care what anybody says, in my opinion, and that's just a fact. Now, moving on, I'm gonna go into two names that I feel like the Raiders may look into trading up for. We have a big hole at cornerback. The Raiders can use a cornerback. I believe cornerback probably won't get selected until pick 10 range, and there's a couple guys. There's two guys, in my opinion. Derek Stingley Jr. out of LSU and Ahmad Sauce Gardner out of Cincinnati. Those are two guys that I feel like the Raiders should really be looking into if they feel like they have not been able to land guys in free agency, or free agency is too expensive for them. Then guess what? Lose a couple draft picks, move up in the draft, and get a DB. I know it's not the best thing because there's a lot of value in these latter rounds, in these later rounds, but if you want to do it, if you guys feel, or if the Raiders feel like it's too expensive in free agency, you can go that route as well. Now, I will say this. My thing in this draft, there's so much freaking talent. I feel like the Raiders honestly need to trade back of pick 22. Pick 22 will be very, very valuable to many teams. I really feel like it'll be very, very valuable to many teams. Saying that there's probably going to be two freaking edge rushers going in the top 5. There's going to be a run of quarterbacks at some point. Now, if you look at Washington doesn't have a pick later after their pick 11. Washington can look to move up. And Washington has some pretty good picks that the Raiders should look after. Now, personally, I know many people are saying that, well, the Raiders, they have to have a first-round pick. The draft is in Vegas. You gotta pick somebody. In my opinion, I don't think so. I feel like the best pick for the Las Vegas Raiders at this point is to trade back. You have so many guys. I mean, if you trade back in the second round, you get two guys. You can get 2 picks in the second round. You got guys like David Bell, Chad Muma. Those 2 guys right there are absolutely they're big. Jalen Tolbert. There's so much value in the second round, you guys. I feel like, honestly, the pick 22 will be very, very valuable to many teams. I feel like the Raiders should, honestly, if those 5 players that I spoke about earlier are not there in the first round by our pick, look to trade back. Look to trade back. That's what I feel like the Raiders should do. And if you really have your eyes set on one draft prospect, maybe if it's a corner, well, guess what? Maybe the Raiders can trade up and get one of those guys. But, Raider Nation, that'll be it for today's video. Let me know your guys' favorite draft prospect, not round 1. Round 2, after. Let me know your guys' sleeper pickup, because I want to do some more homework on these guys, man. I really, really like this time of year. I really like to look at these guys. And yeah, man, let me know what you guys think in the comment section down below. Definitely will make some more videos in the future. But I'm out. Peace.